In this video, we're going to show how to replace your transmission valve body. For a better demonstration, we are using a transmission that is off the car. You do not need to remove your transmission. Be sure to check out our other videos in this transmission repair series. Before you start, check the electrical connection at the dome cover. Inspect all 10 pins and make sure there is not any corrosion or dirt. If there is, the transmission will malfunction. The first step is to make sure our work area is clean. Starting a job with a clean transmission, clean hands, and clean tools will help avoid unnecessary problems. After the transmission is cleaned, loosen and remove all the bolts holding the dome cover. Once they are removed, a gentle tap with a hammer or tool will loosen the cover free. Now that we have the dome cover off, we can remove the valve body. Included on this DVD, we have a printable sheet showing which bolts to remove. It may be a good idea to have it handy for this step. When you loosen the bolts, do not remove them from the slots. Leave them in as shown in the video. Once the bolts have been loosened, gently lift up the valve body. A small metal lever is attached in the back and will slide out with little effort. Lay your old valve body next to the rebuilt valve body and transfer the bolts. Transfer one bolt at a time to avoid making a mistake. Make sure your work area is clean for this step. Now for those who like doing it the hard way or somehow confuse the bolts, here's the solution. First, sort the bolts by length. You will have 11 bolts. 1 is the very longest, 2 are shorter than the longest, 3 are the same length, 1 is shorter than a 3, and 4 short ones. If you pause the video, you'll be able to see them. The single bolts are the guide bolts and go at the corners of the valve body. The very longest goes at the top right corner and the other goes at the bottom left corner. The 2 remaining go at the 5 o'clock and the 10 o'clock positions as shown. The 3 remaining go on the right side, and the 4 short ones are at the bottom left. We are now ready to install the valve body into the transmission. Lift up the metal rod and slide it into the plastic sleeve. It should go in very easily. Now that the valve body is in, we want to fasten the guide bolts located on the corners first. Be careful and make sure that the valve body is in correctly before you use a wrench to tighten any bolts. Continue and tighten the remaining bolts. What we are doing next is making sure all the bolts are at the same tension. Use a ratchet as shown in the video to get a feel on the tension of the bolts. The correct tension is 97 pounds per inch if you have a torque wrench. Almost done. The final step is to clean the dome cover and inspect it to make sure the gasket is intact. This one appears to be fine, so we are going to reuse it. Place the dome cover on the transmission and bolt it into place. With these easy steps, you can replace your valve body and have your Saturn transmission running like new.